to common courts without my permission. I did not read it before it was submitted or anything. This is the abuse that I'm talking about, and why I do not want, another reason why I do not want them to be my attorney. I don't need that. But I'm reading, it says that I wrote, and I'm gonna make sure. Also, please read. It says Jasmine Renee Davis through her attorney Brenda Dowd. Come on now. She need to put court appointed attorney. This bitch is tripping. She not my attorney. She not identifying herself properly. That's gonna make this look like not like it the fuck is. They're hiding key motherfucking points of the case. She's a court appointed attorney and she needs to identify herself as a court appointed attorney. Fuck that. And I told her that. So you're a court appointed attorney. You're not my attorney. You don't represent me. The fuck? Bitches can't, they fucking obnoxiously fucking insane. If they anybody ever is. So these bitches don't get it. Shit. They didn't believe that their education is the best of ever times. This other education motherfuckers can learn. Yeah, I'm mentally ill because I take pictures of my menstrual blood, my bowel movements, and my urine. Do you know how intelligent and brilliant that is? That's great. Bitch, I look at my shit. Yeah. It says that I said, also please request transcripts of this case since 2023 to current, please. I have to look at the case as I was not invited nor notified, and I want to use this information to better understand the reasons and language of matters, most importantly, because I can have access to those transcripts. These transcripts tell about the case, and I can identify all accounts and the integrity and attendance of these hearings, case, legal, case and legal appearances. These transcripts also identify the nature of this case and any actions as to why this case was and is illegal. It also shows trial as I was not, and I capitalized NOT, in trial, but trial continues without me. And an attorney from the Wisconsin State Public Defender's Office, Kenosha, Wisconsin, quote unquote, was there that I never met or knew was there and that I never ever talked to. Obtaining official court transcripts is a foundational step in establishing an accurate record of events, especially when institutional interactions have been inconsistent or undocumented. These documents serve as a definitive verbatim account of every spoken word, typed and written during a proceeding, providing a level of detail that memory or informal notes cannot replicate. So also the importance of court transcripts for personal records. Court transcripts are essential for several reasons when preparing a formal letter or legal challenge. Verbatim accuracy. They capture the exact testimony, arguments, and rulings. This prevents institutional insufficiency where spoken words might be misremembered or misrepresented by others later. Identification of participants. Transcripts list every individual present, including attorneys, judges, and witnesses. This is vital if individuals appear on a case without my knowledge. I capitalize MY. Procedural snapshots. They reveal whether proper notifications were given and if the required legal protocols were followed during the hearing. Evidence and inconsistency. If a professional statements in court contradict what they quote unquote told, capitalize me, or anyone privately, the transcript serves as a primary tool to demonstrate that dishonesty. Wisconsin Statute 757.57 transcript. This law established that any quote unquote person may maintain a certified copy of the transcript of the reporter's notes of the testimony and proceedings. While there is a fee for the preparation, the right to the information is protected. When Wisconsin Statute Section 51.30 treatment record, since I have mentioned the Chapter 51 context, this statute is highly relevant. It dictates that registration and treatment records are confidential but must be released to the individual who is the subject of the record upon request. Court records related to these proceedings fall under this umbrella of accessibility for the person involved. Wisconsin Statute Section 48.396 and 938.396 juvenile records. Although juvenile records are generally closed to the public to protect privacy, these statutes provide exceptions for the subject of the record, quote unquote. If the case directly concerned me or my capitalized interest, capitalize me or capitalize my interest, I actually have the standing to petition the court for access to those transcripts. I am independent. So please know I am referencing your accountability and the laws that perhaps govern you all as you are trying to force me to. And although I can try to understand, however, you all are doing gross misconduct and showing many signs of violence and slavery-like conditions, an integrity issue that are disqualifiers and will then show up for mistrial and abuse and unfair competition in long-standing contexts. I want to say these things without saying I am a people or a person. I don't want to connect with the state of Wisconsin who seek to be who, as you all refuse to talk to me, as you force me to be cooperative. I'm not here to teach you or be your promotion and ticket or token into an inside access to higher education when you each have not qualified for specific programs and thesis and degrees. I'm not your scholarship. I'm not your DNA creation, and I'm not the state of Wisconsin, nature, humanity, and existence. I am my own being and species. Please, because it has shown, but not for me, but there has been shows that are misinformation, that are so abusive in their identity theft, divide, conquer, kidnapping, majority rule, and other mass incarceration and violence in their constitution that highlights and explains the school to prison pipeline. Please, I'm Jasmine Renee Davis. And then it says, too, Jasmine, this bitch sit there and put I, Jasmine Renee Davis. See, uh-uh. Hold on. I gotta check back at this. I, Jasmine Renee Davis, hereby move for disqualification of presiding official pursuant to Wisconsin Statute Section 757192G. The history of the officials' involvement, specifically the misuse of labels regarding competency and the reliance on unrelated criminal rulings. Hold on, I gotta look at this language. I gotta read this and make sure I get it. To maintain the sovereignty of my active life and ensure a process free from institutional subterfuge. Okay. Different official must be assigned to oversee these matters. I am Jasmine Renee Davis. The Wisconsin Supreme Court rules SCR 600.04. This rule mandates that the judge shall adhere to high standards of conduct. SCR 60.044 specifically states a judge shall disqualify himself or herself in a proceeding in which the judge's impartiality might reasonably be questioned, including where the judge, quote unquote, has personal knowledge of disputed evidentiary facts. 2. The Fourth Amendment, U.S. Constitution. This protects the security of my own, quote unquote, active life and space against unreasonable searches and seizures. When I was at a cafe and the police were called despite no crime being committed, this constitutes tortious interference with my quote-unquote access to liberty. 3. Wisconsin Statute Section 938.297 motions. This law allows me to raise defenses or objections based on defects in the institution of the proceedings. I can use this to argue that failure to notify me, Jasmine Renee Davis, of trials was a fundamental procedural defect. Drafting strategy for Jasmine Renee Davis. When this letter does not ask for a substitute, instead, quote unquote substitute, instead, I use the following high-class phrases. Phrasing. I, Jasmine Renee Davis, an independent being of sovereign biological origin, formally move for the disqualification and recusal of Gerard T. Delvillo from cases 2023 JC 000-150 and 2023 JC 000-149. This is not a request for a substitution or a mere rain check of authority. I am asserting a repudiation of jurisdiction based on documented structural conflict of interest involved the district attorney's office and the history of procedural subterfuge. Furthermore, I, Jasmine Renee Davis, provide evidence of objective bias and ex parte observation. The official Gerard T. Delvillo, along with multiple agents of the executive branch of the district attorney's office, have actively monitored my private digital records and stores on social media platforms. This looks altered. The surreptitious surveillance represents a breach of Wisconsin Supreme Court 60.04 as it allows the gathering of non-record evidence and compromises judicial neutrality. Such actions demonstrate that the official is not a neutral arbitrator, but is instead integrated into a network of institutional monitoring. Consequently, I demand a permanent recusal and a vector, I don't even know how to say that word, of all prior rules, and the integrity of these proceedings has been fundamentally corrupted by this unauthorized digital intrusion. Now, I wrote some of these things, yes I did, and I did at the time look at some of these words. I wrote this in a hurry. I'm not going to do this. Say nothing, but I did not do it. I told her that I did not want her to submit shit. Do not submit this to the judge for me. I'm going to submit it myself. The email is plain and clear, and it is there. She picks and chooses what she wants to submit, but she didn't submit me requesting to record in motherfucking court. She didn't submit that email. Why not? I sent it the same goddamn day to her, showing her, listen, this is what I'm working with. She didn't mention how she's watching my motherfucking Facebook page and how Division of Children and Family Services is watching my Facebook page. How she just told me this week that she was saying that I'm mentally ill because I take pictures of my menstrual blood, pictures of my urine, and pictures of my bowel movement. So that shows that I am unstable to be a mother. I do not have to submit to a psychological evaluation either. This is a fight, and they are refusing to let me fight. They sit there and they pushing everything through. They want everything to be as usual, and they trying to tell me to make my Facebook page private. I'm not doing that. I've been posting about this shit for years. The law offices of Jasmine Renee Davis has all kind of postings. That page has been active since 2024. Jasmine Renee Davis executive phone call. Jasmine Renee Davis school to prison pipeline at any age. Quality, I ain't really got much on quality, but I mean, I got so much information on these pages. YouTube. YouTube community. Fucking email. Do all kinds of email addresses. I've been working on this shit for years. And they pick and choose how to look and how to have me to fucking look. I don't appreciate it. I didn't even address her by her name at this point. Ugh, that was single name. I wrote to Brenda Dow on Monday. Check it out on Monday, April 13th, 2026 at 10:14 a.m. And I said, Brenda Dow, I'm asking you to schedule a meeting as soon as ethically possible to discuss the direction of who you are in this case of 2023 JC 000150. And also to discuss this case and for you to answer my question. This meeting should be no less than 1 hour. Also, please request the transcripts of the case since 2023 to current, please. I'm going to stop right there. I asked Brenda Dow to request the transcripts previously. They were denied. Brenda Dow sent a generic ass email to the court. The court said, no, I could not get the email. Said I could not get the transcript. She sent it to me through email. So then I wrote to her and I told her to get the transcript. Brenda Dow has not read the transcript. Brenda Dow does not know what the fuck is going on at all. And these motherfuckers, please, I'm talking as best as I can right now. And they continue to get paid off these cases, not know what's going on, base things off of criminal background and say, okay, well, Jasmine Renee Davis is mentally ill, so we're going to play it this way, we're going to do it that way, we're just going to drag it along. And they do like a template sort of thing in the case without even a real motherfucking court hearings or anything. I said I have to look at this case as I was not invited, not notified. And I want to use this information to better understand the reasons and language and matters that, uh, most importantly, most importantly, because I can have access to those transcripts. These transcripts tell me about the case, and I can identify all accounts and the integrity and attendance of these hearings, case, and legal appearances. These transactions also identify, put identity, the nature, and that's probably something that changed on my phone. I don't know the nature of this case and any actions as to why this case was illegal. It also shows trial, as I was not in trial, but trial continues without me, and an attorney was there that I never met or knew was there, and that I never talked to. Obtaining official court transcripts is a foundational step in establishing an accurate record of events, especially when institutional interactions have been inconsistent and undocumented. These documents serve as the definitive verbatim account of every word spoken during the proceeding, providing a level of detail that memory or informal notes cannot replicate. So, also, the importance of court transcripts for personal records. Court transcripts are essential for several reasons when preparing a formal letter or legal challenge. Verbatim accuracy. They capture the exact testimony, arguments, and rulings. This prevents institutional insufficiency or spoken words. Okay, I gotta find it. Might be misremembered or misrepresented by others later. Identification of participants. Transcripts list every individual present, including attorneys, judges, and witnesses. This is vital if individuals appeared on the case without their knowledge. Procedural snapshots. They reveal whether proper notifications were given, if the required legal protocols were followed during the hearing. Evidence of inconsistency. If a professional statements in court contradict what they told me private, the transcript serves as a. I had to correct this. I had to send another one because I did use some artificial intelligence to. I used all my words, but what artificial intelligence did was added law to specific laws that I talked about to look into, so that I can have. Um, if a professional statements in court contradict what they told you in court, the transcript serves as a primary tool to demonstrate that dishonesty. Wisconsin Statute Section 757, .57. Transcripts. The law establishes that any person may maintain a certified copy of a transcript of the reporter's notes of the testimony and proceedings. While there is a fee for the preparation, the right to information is protected. Wisconsin Statute Section 51.30. Treatment records, since you mentioned the Chapter 51 context. And this is the matter of fact. See, I don't like how um, everything was not put in what I wrote. Brenda Dow picked and chose what she wanted to put. Because I read all this, but I said also, Brenda Dow, this is to be submitted to the court. This is from me. Now, this is what she didn't submit to the court that I told her to submit to the court. Jasmine Renee Davis, of course. I am my own self, and I speak for my own self. As I told you when I seen you, and how you ignored me when I was in jail in Kenosha, Wisconsin, jail at 1000 55th Street, Kenosha, Wisconsin 53140. By the way, Kenosha County Jail have so many different motherfucking addresses depending on the agencies and all that. And I believe that speaks to a specific um thing, like a matter of something. I don't know. You told me you understood, but yet you have shown yourself to not have much interest in speaking to me. And I'm not sure how you access specific of my Gmail accounts, Davis Credit Union at gmail.com, quote unquote. But I did not give you that electronic mail address. But it was used for a video visit in December that you were also inappropriate on, to blaming me for being natural in my reply to your actions that are not prop were not properly. That was shocking, and that is unacceptable for me. Although you may be used to doing law that way, you may be used to doing law that way. That you may be used to doing law that way. That style does not, capital NOT, show any last I'm going to put past or current interests of my own. I, Jasmine Renee Davis, further document that professional malfeasance of Brenda Dow, her unauthorized deployment of an agent to my location on December 27, 2025 in Racine, Wisconsin, without notice or consent, constitutes a trespass to the person and intrusion upon seclusion. This agent acts of standing over me while I was in a vulnerable lying down state, as that unidentified paralegal did not announce, quote unquote, herself to, is an egregious breach of professional boundaries. Furthermore, the delivery of a non-sanitized, unapproved items and the failure to provide weather-resilient containment for legal documents has resulted in the spoliation of evidence due to the natural elements. Also, unapproved and unwanted food products and canned food items shows abuse, and may not, and she may not prescribe me anything. It shows that you are doing things outside your profession, and I do not appreciate your overstepping in disregard for my own biological independence and my own natural sovereignty. I do not eat animals, and I feed myself. I'm not on public assistance, and I don't get food stamps. I'm not on public health care or any health insurance. These actions of the state of Wisconsin, this quote unquote court appointed attorney, are not assistance. They are a coordinated effort of institutional harassment intended to undermine my biological sovereignty and sabotage my records in cases 2023 JC000150 and 2023 JC00014. Those are both Kenosha County cases. And because Wisconsin has the same case numbers for different like counties or cities, the same case number for different counties or cities, I don't understand why. I guess they don't. I don't know what the fuck that's about. That's about Kenosha, Wisconsin, formerly juvenile hidden from the public, private, and other readers, researchers, investigation in court cases. April 13, 2026, 9:33 a.m. I'm Jasmine Renee Davis. Jasmine Renee Davis further identified a coordinated network of surreptitious monitor involving Heidi Schuhkebel, or Division of Children and Family Services, and supervisors, contracted employees within Kenosha Joint Services. These agents have utilized my personal Facebook broadcast as a tool for digital redlining, improperly citing my physical presence in Racine, Wisconsin, as a pretext to deny my statutory right to access to records under Wisconsin Statute Section 19.35. The denial was me requesting file complaints to the Kenosha Public Sheriff. The location of Division of Children and Family Services, 8600 Sheridan Road, Kenosha, Wisconsin, 53140. 4.3, predicated on extrajudicial surveillance, is a manifest violation of the Wisconsin Open Records Law and represents a deliberate attempt to obstruct the documentation of my active life, but also other records. I have requested in this matter from court case 2023 CM 000417 has also been deprived and on different event limited. And from a chapter 51 from August 3rd, 2023 was also denied and not given to me. I demand the immediate release of all withheld reports and a formal inquiry into the unauthorized monitoring of my private specimen by these contracted employees. I'm gonna stop here. Pause here. Okay. If they were supposed to be watching my stuff, why wouldn't she support? She sent what she wanted to send. Ain't no telling what's gonna happen at that motherfucking court date, right? Why wouldn't she rent it out, send in what I told her to submit to the courts? Why she not sending this? Especially when she know I don't even want her to be. I said formal notice of investigation and demand for remediation to the Office of the Secretary, Wisconsin Department of Children and Families. Attention, Supervisor Kenosha Joint Services, Heidi Schuhkebel, from Jasmine Renee Davis, Sovereign Biological Being, date April 13, 2026, on Monday. So it's reference formal record of malfeasance, unauthorized surveillance, and mandamus warning. They're not taking this seriously. One, repudiation of jurisdiction and identity theft. I, Jasmine Renee Davis, hereby issue formal notice to document a coordinating pattern of procedural subterfuge and identity theft. Be advised that I am a unique, one of a kind self of my own, and I can be. I'm not and I'll capitalize can. I am not illegal, and I am not yours. And me, living being, an independent being. I'm not your peer, your scholarship, nor your employer, co-worker, or client. I do not employ you, and I do not want to employ you. Any attempt to categorize my existence within institutional boxes for the purpose of monitoring or control is a manifest violation of my biological sovereignty. 2. Documentation of extrajudicial surveillance. It has been confirmed through direct communication with Kenosha Joint Services that contracted employees, specifically including but not